the world's changing so fast, and keeping up means learning needs to change too, right? Smarter, faster ways.
Absolutely. And that's why today we're diving into this concept called the AI Academy for Income.
Yeah, AI². It's an educational model from EON Reality, and it looks like it's trying to shake things up.
Definitely. It aims to tackle some pretty fundamental challenges we see in education today. Things like cost, access, and making sure what you learn is actually relevant for, well, the AI economy we're heading into.
So our sources, they really lay out how this AI Academy works or how it's supposed to work. We've got details on its features, the benefits compared to, say, traditional college or online courses.
Right. And our mission today really is to get to the heart of it. What is this model? And maybe more importantly, why should you care if you're looking to pick up new skills quickly?
Okay, so let's start with the why. What problems is this meant to fix? The sources point to the usual suspects first.
Yeah, the massive cost of traditional degrees, campuses needing expensive buildings, not enough specialized teachers. Those are big hurdles.
But it also seems to highlight a disconnect, doesn't it, between what schools teach and what jobs actually need now, especially with AI changing everything.
Exactly. Traditional classroom learning has its limits, infrastructure-wise, and standard online courses, well, people often don't finish them, and you don't always get that hands-on practice.
Neither seems quite perfect for this new AI-driven landscape.
Which is where this AI Academy comes in. They're positioning it as a sort of third way.
A hybrid.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Leveraging tech, like EON Reality's platform, to combine the good bits of physical and digital learning, but trying to ditch the downsides. It's really built on their tech.
So it's not just recorded lectures online. It seems much more focused on immersive learning, AI guidance, and getting skills that actually lead to income. That seems key.
And there's a sense of urgency in the source material. They call it a strategic imperative.
Meaning, institutions need to get on board fast.
Pretty much. The argument is that AI in education could create a winner-takes-most situation, like we saw with, say, streaming services or online retail. Early movers might gain a huge advantage.
So adopt early and potentially see big enrollment growth, better reputation.
Right. And the flip side is the window might be closing. The suggestion is maybe in the next year or two, if institutions don't have strong AI-powered options, they could really struggle to compete.
Especially if competitors offer better results, potentially cheaper, and align better with what employers actually want, those practical skills.
Exactly. So what makes it chick? The sources talk about revolutionary capabilities. First up is immersive virtual equipment and laboratories.
Okay, this sounds interesting. Virtual labs.
Think bigger. Access to a massive library, they say $50 billion worth of virtual assets, over 36 million 3D models, and XR environments.
Wow, so you could work with, like, super expensive or dangerous equipment virtually.
Precisely. Get inside views of complex machines, run experiments you could never afford or safely do in reality, mess with time, repeat complex procedures endlessly until you nail it. It's about building intuition, not just book smarts.
That makes sense. Unlimited practice without breaking anything.
Yeah.
Or anyone.
Then there's AI-powered mentorship.
So an AI tutor.
Basically, yeah. Available 24/7. Personalized help at a scale humans just can't manage. It can tap into vast knowledge, potentially without bias, and even speak multiple languages.
Okay, that could be huge for accessibility. What about soft skills? Often harder to teach.
They address that too. Advanced soft skills development using virtual simulations.
Like practicing a job interview.
Exactly, with an AI giving you feedback.
Yeah.
Or simulating patient interactions for healthcare students. Even negotiation or conflict resolution scenarios where you can try different approaches, fail safely, and learn from it.
Learning by doing, even for things like communication. That's powerful.
And the last big capability is revolutionary content creation, keeping the learning material up to date.
Which is crucial when things change so fast.
Right. They talk about turning text into an immersive lesson in like 80 seconds, building whole programs in days, not years.
Days versus years, that's disruptive.
It is. And they mentioned something called vibe coding, basically telling the AI what you want code to do in plain English, and it generates it. Imagine keeping courses constantly refreshed with the latest industry needs.
Okay, so those are the capabilities. How does it stack up against traditional education head-to-head? The source had a comparison, right?
Yeah, a pretty direct one. Let's run through some highlights. Learning speed.
They claim 4 times faster with immersive practice.
Student engagement.
275% higher engagement for immersive versus maybe 15% completion for typical online courses. Ouch.
Equipment access.
Unlimited virtual access to that $50 billion library versus limited, expensive physical gear.
Faculty use.
AI handles routine stuff, freeing up instructors for high-value mentoring instead of them being bogged down. Cost. This is a big one.
Huge. Estimated $7,200 to $10,800 per year for AI Academy versus $26,500 to $40,500 traditionally. That's potentially over 70% cheaper.
That kind of saving could make education accessible to so many more people.
Absolutely. Then there's geographic reach.
Global for AI, obviously, versus limited by physical location.
Program development time.
We just mentioned that 90 days versus maybe 2-3 years. Much more agile.
Career outcomes.
They suggest more direct pathways to jobs or starting businesses.
Skill relevance.
Perpetual updates versus potentially outdated knowledge.
And scalability.
Marginal cost near zero for AI as it grows, unlike the linear costs of building more classrooms or hiring more staff.
So across the board, it paints a picture of a potentially much more efficient, effective, and accessible model.
The source backs this up with some real-world examples or projected impacts with specific numbers, like for a technical university.
Yeah, they cite things like enrollment jumping 150-200% in 2 years.
Yeah.
Completion rates way up to 85-95%, getting degrees 30-40% faster, and grads getting jobs quicker with higher starting salaries.
Those are numbers that would definitely make university presidents pay attention. What about community colleges?
Similar story. Improved access, big enrollment growth, much better completion rates compared to the norm, and slashing the cost per graduate significantly.
Even K-12.
Yep, projected gains in STEM skills, closing achievement gaps, boosting college acceptance in STEM, and maybe even helping keep good teachers.
And for entrepreneurs?
Incubators using this saw much higher business launch and survival rates, founders earning good money faster, and creating more jobs. So the potential impact seems quite broad. And for institutions wanting to try this, the source mentions a partnership approach.
Making it easier to adopt.
That seems to be the idea. Low initial costs, they share revenue based on growth, promise a 90-day setup, the institution owns the content, and it integrates with their existing systems, trying to lower the barrier to entry.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the AI Academy for Income, it's presenting a fundamentally different take on education.
Right. Using immersive tech and AI to aim for faster, cheaper, more engaging learning that's tightly linked to career skills.
And the big question hanging in the air from the source is whether institutions will jump on this kind of transformation or, well, get left behind.
It definitely makes you think, doesn't it? About your own learning, your career path. How might something like this change how you gain skills in the future?
For sure. If you want to dig deeper into this, the sources mention a few places to go.
Yeah, there's a white paper you can download, the EON Spatial AI Academy website itself. They have their own podcast, and also the EON XR spoken blog. Lots to explore if you're curious.
Definitely worth checking out. So here's a final thought to leave you with. As AI and immersive tech keep racing ahead, how does our actual definition of education need to change? What does it mean to be truly prepared for what's coming next?
A big question indeed.
Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive with us.